Good morning guys, it's Chris the Ultimate Recycler and we're back in the emergency storage shed for episode 166. It's another exciting episode and there's a box here that I've been itching to get into. It's a large box. It's got pretty old vintage stuff in it. I really don't know what's below the top and I have had a peek in. It looks really cool. So I've been waiting to get to this box for a while. Let me turn the camera around and show you. So I've been working down a stack here, but we're going to stop going any lower there and switch back onto the middle shelf. And this large box here that's marked glass and crystal, I've been itching to get into for ages. As I said, it's not glass and crystal, I'm quite sure. It looks like it's a mixture of household and shed. I can see a cuckoo clock on top behind those spider webs. There's a vintage car horn, and I have no idea what's below. We'll have to slide this clock across. We'll deal with this clock probably in the next episode. But I'd like to make some space on this shelf. Some of the stuff the other end has been put back in here after we've sorted. And I need to make some decisions. So we'll try and get this whole shelf cleaned off. I can then use it to store things to help me get organised. Eventually this whole unit might leave the shed, but I need to continue through the back here. For those that are new to the channel, we still have a bit to go. There's a number of rows of boxes before we find the back wall, and there's going to be some very amazing, valuable and interesting stuff amongst it. And we've got to feed as much through the shop as we can whilst we still have the shop. It is of course being auctioned, well, the property, and we don't have a choice in the matter. Hopefully we've got quite a bit of time yet because I've got a lot of work to do. Rightio, let's brush these cobwebs aside and get this box into the bench. Well, the box is just simply too heavy to carry. I've taken a few things off the top. A lot of the underneath is wrapped up in newspaper, so who knows, maybe it is glass and crystal. Real mystery, this one. And the box feels very dodgy. Hopefully the bottom holds. Because if it's glass and crystal, it won't like hitting the concrete. Well, it's possibly plates and china, so I don't know. We've got to go through it. We're going to make decisions. I need a breather after that. Okay, let's start with these few things I brought in on top. It's quite possible that it is glass, crystal, china, and it was just too heavy, so the box wasn't filled to the top, and it was just, this stuff was put in once it was moved to the shed here. So that's a vintage car horn, might be a truck horn. I would imagine it's going to have some value. Looks like it's made in Australia. Can't immediately see a brand on it. That would be worth just hooking some power up to it and see if it works. It's going to have a bit of value. There's always guys looking for old car parts like that. Now we jump to the shearing shed. These are some English-made sheep shears, and they're really good garden clippers. Geez, it must have been hard work shearing sheep with these things. So they're marked Sheffield, made in England, Ward and Payne. Not a brand I've normally seen, but yeah, they're a spring steel handle. And they're designed, they're not actually bent or damaged, they're designed to flex back so that when the blades engage, there's a fair bit of pressure on them, and they guillotine very well. So they'll sell okay. I usually get $10 to $15 for those. As for the cuckoo clock, well, it might have a spider living in there as well as the cuckoo. He's left his door open. So we don't have any weights. And there's supposed to be a pendulum as well. I don't know if they're in another box or not. It's German made, carved wood top. It's actually not in bad condition. Quite often these get damaged, but underneath all the cobwebs, it's not actually in bad condition. Oh, this side, hang on, the bellows door. Is it bellows? Maybe that's just an access door, but it feels like it's broken. It's loose anyway. The bellows are in there. So yeah, look, it's probably okay. We can take the back off it. It's got a Phillips head screw there, so I'm not sure how old it is. Oh, the bellows look okay. There's the gong. It looks to be complete. It's marked made in Germany on the movement. And the air bellows, can we get them to move? Oh, it's broken. Yeah, the tape's come off the part that pushes the air to make the cuckoo sound. What about this other side? No, I'm not sure it's going to work properly. Alright, it might be a project, I guess, at some stage down the track. I haven't actually done any work on a cuckoo clock before. It'll be interesting to try one. The weights you can find, the pendulum, I could be able to find something, I suppose. I could probably even buy some parts on eBay if I need to. So I might put this apart purely because I've never repaired or restored a cuckoo clock. At least the little birdie's in there. Birdie's door doesn't want to close. I think we can spin the thing around and close the door. Okay, we'll put that aside as a project down the track, perhaps. I could probably sell it for parts, but it's not going to be worth very much. Alright, what's in this box? I think we might move some stuff off the bench here. We're going to need all the space we can get. Okay, it's unwrapping time. What do we got? We have glass. We have an amber glass plate. Maybe 50s era, Depression era. No, it's a bit after the Depression era. And a large pressed glass bowl. That's more Depression glass. So it could be 30s or so. So, alright, we're going to need to get this stuff into the shop. So I guess it's good we found this now. It'd be hard to sell this sort of glassware without a shop. I mean, you could sell it at a garage sale or a market, but it's not worth a great deal. At least what I've seen at the moment. Oh, this bit looks okay. It's a little jewellery box, dressing table box. That's okay, the hinge isn't broken. It's alabaster, I thought it might have been. Made in Italy, it had $15 on it. So this stuff must have come from that shed I cleaned out that was full of all op shop stuff years ago. That's where, because a lot of that stuff was priced. So that's a nice piece. We'd probably still get 15 for that. Here's a little pressed glass vase again, Depression era. Maybe there's a pair of those. They don't appear to be damaged. Alright, hopefully we've got some nice valuable stuff in here. There's another vase by the feel of it, and it's quite heavy. Oh, a large crystal vase. And first thing I feel is the edge, no chips. That will wash up magnificently. Has it got any marks on the base? I always look for etchings on the base by holding them up to the light. Can't see any marks on that one. But that's a very nice heavy crystal vase with no damage. We're going to get $30 or $40 for that. So this box could be a nice little treasure trove. So it is glass and crystal. The box is right all along. What do we got here? A little glass bucket. Irish whiskey. So advertising labels around it. So I guess it's an ice bucket. There's probably some tongs to go with that. A square one. This feels like it could be a Depression glass butter box. Yes. They're always got a few chips around the top. They get, because they were used a lot and the lid was glass, they did always cop a lot of little chips. Doesn't really affect it. It's a shame we don't have a lid for it. There may be one in here. I might have a spare one at the shop. Looks like it said $2. Can you read that? It's written on the inside. Or is it $5? Maybe it's that way. Yes, it was $5. We'd probably get 10 if I got a lid. I'll do better. Okay, we have a glass bottle of sorts. Looks like a perfume. Forbidden fruit liqueur. Okay, it's not a perfume. It's probably too big for a perfume. So 1 pint. Louis Bustanobi. Don't know that word at all, that name. That's only plastic, I think. It's very hard, but I think it was a plastic thing that went around it. The top looks to be die cast. The top's a little broken. Unusual liqueur bottle. Probably 1950s or 60s. Don't see much value in that one. We have a glass of some description here, or a little vase. Okay, another This is probably more of a pressed glass vase. The glass ones that are pressed usually have a seam running up the side. You don't see that on crystal vases, and they haven't quite got the clarity that crystal has. But it'd still sell, maybe $5, maybe $8, something like that. And this might be a match to it. No, it's not, but it's another very similar one. And again, it's got a seam mould. So yeah, pressed glass. 1930s, 40s maybe. Okay, there's quite a lot in this box. Oh, we have blue. A blue glass bowl. This looks more 70s. So not very interesting. I thought it might have been a light shade for a minute, but no, it's definitely a bowl. Probably had a large cork to go in the top of that. Another glass vase here. And does that, I think that matches, does it? Yes, so we've got a pair of those. That's good. Another glass bowl here with the lid. This looks very 70s. They're painted. The coloured bits are just painted on clear glass. And the paint's coming off. I don't see much value at all in that one. Maybe 5 at least. It's got its lid. It almost resembles a pumpkin. Strange top on it. Right, some bigger pieces in here. A glass decanter. It has a ground glass insert. Well, it doesn't have the stopper, but it's been ground. But it looks more 70s. It's pressed again. You can see the seam. Yeah, it may have even... No, there's no spot for a label, so I think it was a decanter. Sometimes you would buy bottles of liqueur and you could use the bottle afterwards as a decanter, but they normally had a label spot. What have we got here? It feels like a foot. It's not a foot, it's a bird. It's a pheasant, perhaps? Maybe Avon? Yes, definitely Avon. 5 fluid ounces. It's empty. Would have been, what, an aftershave? Yes, it says aftershave. So that should sell okay. Avon bottles are very hard to sell, but some of the nicer ones get money. This feels like... Oh, I thought it was a jug, but I think it's got 2 handles. It has. Oh, that's nice. That's quite old. Probably 30s era. Again, it's pressed, but it's very decorative, that one. 2 handles. I'm not sure what it would be. I guess a vase, but with handles. Unusual. But yeah, quite nice. Doesn't appear to be damaged at all, which is good. Okay, this one is quite heavy. Oh, it's another ice bucket with a lid. So probably 60s to 70s again. That's not silver plated, it's just chromed. It could even be just steel. It is. So yeah, not very good quality there. But it looks okay. Seems to be in pretty good condition. So probably only, well, I might get 10 for that. Alright, before we finish the box, I'm going to move some stuff off the bench so we've got enough room. Okay, with a bit more room made, we can get back into this unwrapping, and feels like another glass vase. It is. Another sort of Depression era, 30s, maybe 40s glass vase. We're going to have a special on vases at the shop, I can feel. What's this one? Salt and pepper? No. Got a sticker on saying Japanese. I guess they're for like condiments, like olive oil or vinegar maybe. Not too sure. They don't have stoppers. Vintage, probably 50s or 60s from the foil sticker. But I'm not sure what they're for pouring something. Okay, there's a bowl here. It feels like it's got feet. And it is. That's quite nice. So a pressed glass vase, not a vase, a bowl. It actually matches the handled one a little bit with the sawtooth top. Doesn't appear to be any damage. and the feet often get knocked when they're being washed, but these ones feel okay. So some nice glassware like that would sell okay, maybe $20, $25, something like that. Should wash up nicely. Okay, we have another bowl here and something in it. That's a nice bowl as well. So it's got a bit of a sandblasted effect around the pattern. Again, there doesn't appear to be any damage. Interesting. And there's something small in here. Oh, another little dressing table container made of alabaster. Had $8 on it. Yeah, we might struggle to get that. We might go for $5 on that one, but the hinge isn't broken. Okay, something big here. Is this a jug? Looks like it is. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I always look around the tops of the handles on these because they seem to fracture where the glass is applied to the body. And sure enough, this one has a fracture. It usually doesn't present a danger of the handle breaking off. It just fractures, you might be able to see it through there, it just fractures into the body of the glass. And it does detract, of course. And it may leak if you want to use it as a vase, but then again, you're unlikely to have it more full than the top of the handle. This looks sort of Polish, 1960s. They're often coloured in a nice dark blue or a green or something, but it's a similar sort of base. I don't think we've got glasses with it, so it's no great loss. And it would still be great as a vase or even as a jug. It's not really going to leak around there, but it's just a shame. They always fracture there. Interesting pinched top pouring spout. And with the etched decoration there. I was going to say wheat, but it's possibly a fern with a flower. Yeah, well look, we might get 10. It should clean up nice and clean. We might run that through the dishwasher, although that might encourage the crack to travel with a bit of hot temperature. Another large bowl, feels like it's got feet again. Well, these are okay, I don't mind these. These ones will sell quite well. That's very similar to the other one, slightly larger. And actually has a sticker, and it says crystal. Made in, I think it says Czechoslovakia. I'll get a photo of that, but I can't quite read it. That's a really nice bowl. More delicate, elegant type feet than the other one. It's amazing they haven't been broken off. So I think that one will get probably $40 to $50, maybe $40. I'll have to hand wash that. I have to hand wash all these, I think. I don't want to put them in the dishwasher. The extremes of temperatures quite often too much for the old thick glass. All right, we have a little ramekin, a Crown ovenware Pyrex ramekin, very 60s. They would have had a whole range of colours. In fact, I think there's 3 in here. There would have been 6 originally. Oh no, this is different. It's a little Pyrex bowl. And the bottom one, oh, is a glass bowl. Okay. Not much value in that, although it's a very nice blue. Not a great deal of value in the Pyrex bowls. If I had a set of those, they'd sell okay. So nothing much there. Just about at the bottom of the box, and here we have a large bowl with a bit of colour. Oh yeah, blue base, that's quite nice. I think maybe Japanese, there's no stickers on it. A lot of the early Murano bowls they were ground on the base, so a flat ground base. This one's quite smooth, it's been polished, so I don't think it's Murano. But the Japanese did a lot of art glass as well in the 60s and 70s and even later, and then of course a lot of art glass came out of China in more recent years. But that's a very nice retro bowl. I love the deep blue. Good condition. I think we'd be looking at $30 or so for that one. Now the last wrapped up piece in here is lidded container. Looks okay. I guess it's like a dressing table container. Could be used on the table for something perhaps. Sauces. Not sure. So that's probably not overly valuable. And there is a lid. Is that a lid? Oh, that's the base. That's actually been broken off. It was glued, I think. But I don't think... Oh, was it off? Yeah, it could have been off that. It kind of fits. Although it's not really the right style. But that's got a round circle in the bottom, so... Doesn't have any residue glue, or does it? What do you think? Did that come from there? The style doesn't look quite right to me. But maybe it did. I don't think we have anything else with a circle underneath. That one? No. Anyway, that's probably not much good for anything really. At least the bowl, if this did have the base, at least it will sell without it. But no, I'm sure it didn't come from here. So it's got a little bit of sandblasting effect where it contacts on the table. So I don't know. I can sell the bowl anyway. I'll be hard pressed to sell that. The last thing in here is a lamp base. Okay, we don't have anything we can use as a shade. I could wire that up, but I would need something, a shade to sit on there. Still, that would sell anyway. Someone will have a use for it. That's it. Box is empty. This can be cut up for the recycling. I've got some washing up to do. Before we get back to the glass and crystal, I've got 6 volts onto these leads from my power supply, and you would have seen earlier the photo on the end of the horn here does say 6 volts, made in Australia. I think it's an RVB branded horn. I couldn't actually decide that for sure. On the side it does have a yellow type trademark. I'm not sure if it says RVB. I couldn't quite identify it, but it's Australian made, and they were the leaders of horn manufacture in earlier times. I think this dates to the 40s or 50s. It possibly suits early Holdens and other Australian made cars. Right, 6 volts. I think we have this on. Yes, we do. I don't think polarity matters on these things. Let's see if we can make a noise. Well, we had a bit of a spark, which is a good sign. I think the coil's probably okay. The diaphragm's probably just a bit stuck. We can adjust the variable setting here to adjust the tone, and I think that will put more or less pressure on the diaphragm. Let's try and move that. So I think it has a lock nut on it. So if we undo that, oh, I reckon it's trying to make a noise. Nearly. So I didn't persist with this. I think it could go quite easily with a little bit of work, probably taking the cover off and freeing up the diaphragm. I'm not going to worry. I'm going to put $20 on it as it is. And the rest of the items are there and up here. How well does that look? Cleaned up very nicely. I hand washed it, but didn't take long. Didn't discover any damage to any of that. I did though discover there was a crack, and you should be able to see it there in the amber glass plate. So I'm just going to put that, I think I'll put it in the free box, you know. Same with this one, because I took the tape off it and there's a big chunk out of one side of the bowl. Can we get a focus on that? I think you can see it there. So they're just going to go in the free box. We're happy to pass that stuff on quickly. The rest of the things actually washed up very nicely. It's going to make some really nice stock to go in the shop. And of course the cuckoo clock, yeah, I'll put it aside as a project down the track. I could always pass it off if I want to, but I haven't done any work on those before, as I mentioned, so that might be a bit of fun. Okay, let's get to the notepad. So here we go. Part 166 sees another 2-page list of items. The cuckoo clock, no value. I could write down 10 because I'm sure I'd get 10 if I put it in the shop as it is, but it won't be going there straight away. Now, I didn't write down any of the lower value, or the stuff that we're going to give away. The items with asterisks here are $10 for that glass butter box, but if I can find a lid, and I've got a couple of spare lids, I think we'd get 20 for it with the lid. The blue glass bowl, if I find a large cork to fit that, and I have got a few of those stashed aside, we'd probably get 10. And the decanter, if I can find a stopper for it, we'd get 10. But as they are, they're the prices. And over the page, we have a total of $375. The crystal lamp, if I could be bothered wiring it and found a suitable shade, I'd probably get 50. Just depends. If I find a shade, I'll probably do that. I've got plenty of cords to wire it. It'll only take 10 to 15 minutes, so that would be well worth doing. But at this stage, as you see it, $375. I'll just recap a few of the previous weeks for those that have been watching and are curious. We've sold both those brass bottle opener corkscrews, so $20 back there. This is from last week. The candelabra, that was just the cheaper one. That thing was a butter cooler that I asked you what it was. Well, at least that's what I think it is. No one's come up with anything better. I've sold it, by the way. $15 for one of the hurricane lamps. $10 for those rollerball feet. $20 cast iron horse. Brass jug and the brass house or the bronze house doorstop, $25. They've all gone. So that's good. Let's go back a couple of weeks, or the few previous weeks, and point out any interesting stuff. From the artwork, we've only sold the small oil landscape, which apparently was New Zealand. So that one went to a subscriber. Thank you, Kit. Nothing else is sold there. The previous episode, we had a huge box full of tins. Well, we've sold cigarette box, meditation oil I gave to Mum, Winnie the Pooh tin, the rowing tin, the Craven A tin, another the boxed perfume bottle, the willow canister. So yeah, we've sold a few there. What about 162? That was another box of glass and crystal. Well, we sold one of the boudoir lampshades. The retro Italian glasses just sold. I only pointed them out in last video and they've sold now. The owl paperweight, the Costa Boda candle holder, one of the crystal vases. So a bit of that stuff's gone. We sold the KTX CRT computer monitor. That went on the weekend. And the previous episode, the filing drawer and the black and white TV have sold. The toaster we were keeping. So lots of that stuff going, particularly the vintage electronic stuff, which is great. It's clearing out nicely at the prices that I'm nominating. And our total now out of that shed is $31,110, building up. Thanks for coming with me again on another unboxing journey. This one really did surprise me. I honestly did not think there was glass and crystal in that box. I thought it was just someone had reused an old box. If you need proof, that just shows that I don't pre-unpack these and research just to look clever when I'm going through them. Sometimes I am just at a loss when I pull things out of a box. I guess a lot. You guys help in the comments, so that's all much appreciated. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.